In 1990, Viacom launched a TV show about an astronaut who came back from Mars and became a cyber-suited vigilante. He had a jet-powered motorcycle, a force field, and a digitized billionaire guiding the mission. But just 2 years later, it just disappeared. So what happened? Let's find out. This is the history of Superforce.
It is a year 2020.
Superforce's original concept was pitched by Jay McNamara as a companion series to Superboy and Lightning Force in a proposed 2-hour block of action programming. It was bold and unmistakably commercial. Viacom saw the potential and greenlit the project through Premiere Limited Productions, aiming to build it as a cornerstone in a larger action sci-fi push. The plan wasn't just to create a single show, it was to create an entire ecosystem of half-hour programming that could be packaged, sold, and syndicated to stations across the country. It was designed to be fast, flashy, and unmistakably 90s. Set in the year of 2020, the show would follow astronaut Zachary Stone, who returns from a Mars mission to discover that his father has died and his brother Frank, a decorated detective, is missing, presumed dead, and falsely accused of corruption. Frustrated by the slow progress of the investigation, Zach joins the Metroplex Police Department under the leadership of Captain Carla Frost, determined to uncover what really happened. Zach's first trip into the crime zone gets him into trouble. He's outmatched, unprotected, and gets badly beaten. After the attack, he turns to FX Spinner, who equips him with a new version of the suit he once used during his Mars mission. But when Zach takes it into action for the first time, the mission ends in disaster. He's ambushed by Frank, alive, who hits him with explosives that destroy the suit and almost kill him. After this confrontation, Zach convinces Spinner to rebuild the suit, this time modified specifically for urban law enforcement. The result is a re-engineered battle armor equipped with enhanced strength, a graviton-powered deflection field, vision enhancement systems, and a motorcycle armed with gadgets and weapons tailored for high-speed urban combat. The bike's bodywork was constructed by special effects artist Robert Short, who also designed the suit for John Wesley Shipp's The Flash. Together, Zach and FX established the crime-fighting identity known as Superforce. They're aided by the Hungerford computer, an artificial intelligence created from the personal data and psychological profile of the company's late founder, E.B. Hungerford. Voiced by Patrick McNee, the AI mimics Hungerford's personality and serves as both tactical advisor and digital support system. With the concept locked in, the next step was to find a cast that could sell the premise. Ken Olandt was cast in the lead role of Zach Stone, a former astronaut who becomes the show's main protagonist. Olandt was positioned as the grounded center of the series, playing a character who shifts from space exploration to street-level policing. Larry B. Scott played FX Spinner, a former gang member turned electronics expert. As the team's technical specialist, Spinner was responsible for maintaining the Superforce armor and developing new devices. Lisa Niemi was cast as Captain Carla Frost, Zach's superior officer at the Metroplex Police Department. Frost was depicted as a strict but fair commander, respected by her subordinates, and determined to bring order to a chaotic city. The series also featured a number of notable guest stars. G. Gordon Liddy appeared in a recurring role as Tao Satori, a seemingly reformed businessman who operated as a central antagonist. Marshall Teague played Frank Stone, Zach's older brother, and a key figure in the show's backstory. Initially presumed dead, Frank's presence looms large over the plot. Other guest appearances included former adult film stars Tracy Lords and Ginger Lynn, but the guest list didn't stop there. Sting, the professional wrestling star, and the original Incredible Hulk also made appearances, adding a layer of action genre recognition to the lineup. When Superforce finally aired in syndication, it entered a television landscape already saturated with heroes, vigilantes, and crime fighters. But against the odds, this oddball blend of sci-fi action didn't just survive, it made an immediate impact. In its debut season, the show pulled in strong numbers. It consistently ranked among the top 20 shows in syndication and even broke into the top 15 during key weeks. Trade outlets noted that the premiere ratings were strong across multiple markets, with stations often slotting it into early evening blocks. People Weekly gave it a surprisingly warm review, with critic David Hiltbrand praising the pilot's escapist tone and comic book flair. The Sentinel, while acknowledging the show's budget constraints and limitations, saw the appeal in its popcorn TV energy, comparing it to earlier hits like Knight Rider, not in quality, but in tone and ambition. But not everyone was impressed. Entertainment Weekly gave the pilot a lukewarm write-up, calling it predictable and undermined by its budget. TV Guide was more blunt, describing the show as suitable for undemanding viewers, implying it was light entertainment best suited for younger audiences or casual viewing. For Viacom though, the numbers confirmed that the show had found a niche. It wasn't a breakout hit, but it was reliable, consistent, and visually distinctive. It had done more than just survive its chaotic launch. It found its audience and bought itself a second season.
Out of the fire of Earth attraction, beyond the limits of the world, where man and machine and spirit unite.
From the outset, the series faced serious production challenges. During its initial rollout, Viacom hosted a high-profile screening of the 2-hour pilot in Orlando, inviting station buyers and even NASA astronauts to promote the launch. But behind the scenes, things had gone off the rails. According to a Viacom executive, they failed to complete the pilot in time for the screening, leaving Viacom with only 20 minutes of usable footage. Faced with a packed room and little to show, the event organizers stalled with drinks and delays before screening the brief material they had. According to the story, when the screening finished, the crowd, perhaps aided by the open bar, responded with unexpected applause. Soon after, Viacom brought in a new production team to finish the pilot and get the show ready for syndication in time for its October 1990 debut. The instability didn't end there. James McNamara, the show's creator, served as executive producer for Season 1, but handed the role to Roderick Taylor for Season 2. That change in leadership coincided with a notable tonal shift. Psychic powers, a new character, and reduced reliance on the armored suit became hallmarks of the second season. By the time Superforce entered its second season in 1991, it had proven itself a reliable presence in the syndicated television market. Ratings were steady, the show had carved out a niche, and Viacom was publicly expressing optimism about its future. But behind that confidence, a different story was taking shape, one shaped not by creative failure, but by economics. Internally, TV executives were watching the numbers closely, and while Superforce had held its own and even improved its ratings during Season 2, it wasn't enough to renew the show for a third season. The cost of maintaining a series with practical effects, location shoots, and a rotating cast of guest stars was too much. For Superforce, that meant a quiet exit. There was no dramatic cancellation announcement and no final episode that signaled the end. The show completed its planned second season, aired its final episodes in May of 1992, and then disappeared from new production without fanfare. Although Superforce ended in 1992, the full series was eventually released on DVD in 2017. The release included all 48 episodes, covering both seasons of the show, along with the original 2-hour television movie that served as its pilot. This marked the first time the entire run of Superforce was officially available in a single collection. So that's what happened to Superforce. A show built for the future, brought down by economics. And yet, in the world of television, Superforce wasn't alone, because years earlier, another series tried something strange. A man who could become any animal, a show that barely made it out of the gate, and a legacy that somehow lasted longer than anyone expected. That's the story of Manimal. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content.